Recording in progress. Okay, thank you for that. You knew where I was about to go. I was about to go on my tangent and forget to record. So again, I love to make sure that you guys all know that we welcome y'all at any comfortability. We love seeing faces. We love having conversations. We can see your eyes, but at the same time, we don't want anybody to feel like, oh my gosh, I can't get on because if I show my face, I'm not allowed to, right? Or you're not comfortable with it. We want you to be here comfortable wherever you're at. Today's masterclass is Fat Loss Fundamentals Masterclass, you guys. And there's a reason and a method behind our madness always. I'm going to mute everyone just to make sure, except for Coach Lori and Coach Anita, just so we don't have any background noise. But we are here today to educate you guys a little bit more on fat loss. Okay, so if you're obviously on a fat loss journey or want to be or in a place of like, I'm trying to lose weight over here, something's not working, we have so much to share with you guys today. So, oh my gosh, hold on, there's more coming in. Good problem to have, right? So bear with me just 1 second, and I'm going to share my screen a lot for you guys today as well too. So, okay. All right, let's get this party started. And there's more coming. I love it. Okay. So let me start with sharing my screen and let's get this party started. If you're ready in the chat, if you can find it, if you can find the little chat. I'm really big on always asking you guys to comment in the chat. So I apologize in advance. Do it if you can. I know some of you guys are in a place you're probably working and doing all the things. So I love communication back and forth at the best of your ability if you're able to do it. So Magdalena, yes ma'am, I see you. I see your text. I do. So hello. So glad to have you here. All right. So welcome. Let's get started. Welcome to Fit Mama Fat Loss Fundamentals Masterclass. We're, as Fit Mama coaches, some of you guys are working with us on a one-on-one level. So you know us and you know a lot of already behind the scenes of our method behind our madness and the things that we coach you and teach you and walk you through on a daily basis with our programs and what we do. But we're going today to dive deep on some of it. So some of the things we'll probably share today are going to be repeated, things that you're like, yep, I know this. Coach Anita has driven this into my brain. I know this. Or Coach Lori just told me this morning. And some of you, it might be new information. And so wherever you're at in this space, hang with us, you guys. And who is this masterclass for? It's for whoever is here today. If you're a busy woman, this is going to be for you, right? If you are a busy woman with a lot on your plate, that's who this masterclass is designed for. If you're sick and tired of where you are now and really truly ready for change, this masterclass again is for you. Also, if you are no longer looking for a quick fix, because we are not, if you are, I'll be transparent right now really quick. If you are looking for the quick fix, we're not your coaches. And so I want to save your time by doing that. If you're looking for something that's going to be like very little effort, hardly any work, magic sauce over here, so I can drop 30 pounds in 2 weeks, we're definitely not your coaches because we don't believe in those things. We see the damage those things do. So we're on the flip side. We want you to lose, but we want you to keep it off. Okay. And so we're going in more detail on that as we keep going. So hang with us if you're any of these. And so that last one is, of course, this masterclass is for those that are willing to put in a little bit of work, a little bit of effort. Like, again, you're sick and tired of all the things. So what you're going to learn from us today. If you upgraded for VIP, we'll get this on replay. Okay. There's still time to do that. I'll share what that is in a second. I've had quite a few people message me today. I went live in our group this morning and I've had quite a few message me like, what is that? What is the VIP? I didn't see that part whenever I signed up. So I'll share with that in just a second, but what will you learn from this masterclass is this, ladies. We want you to come out of this hour of us all being together today so you understand the difference between fat loss and weight loss. Because there is a difference and we're going to highlight that. We're going to use all of our expertise to elaborate on what that is. Because if you focus on just weight loss, you could be actually gaining fat. And so we're going to teach you the difference. Let me stop myself before I go into it. But we're also going to help you see where your mental health aligns with your fat loss. How many of y'all can honestly say your mental health you feel like is your even number one most important thing? Put mental health in the comments or in the chat. if you feel like, oh my gosh, mental health, you're speaking to me because I need some mental health over here. Yes, I want to lose weight. Yes, I need to, lose some fat and inches and all the things, but my mental health is just not in a great place right now. If that's you, yeah, drop mental health, because if you know us, some of y'all that are coaching with us already know this. If you don't know us and you're new to us, know that it's a very important part that we love to incorporate in all that we do, because we feel like that's the most important. Awesome. I see you guys dropping mental health. We're also going to teach our top fundamentals. We call them our top fundamentals. There's 4 things that we're going to break down for you here today, because it's what we create and base our programs around to help women truly unlearn. Okay. We're not here to just teach you a whole bunch of new fancy things. We're here to help you unlearn negative programming that has truly been a lot of things that keep women stuck. I love it. Caitlin said in the chat, if I don't get my mind in order, nothing else works. Amen. Can I get an amen to that? And that's for all of us. Our mind is such a powerful piece. So really quickly, again, like I said, I had a couple people asking me VIP, so I'm going to go through this really super duper fast. VIP is this. When you signed up for the masterclass, this is our free masterclass we're going to guide you guys through today. We do have a VIP masterclass that we're doing tomorrow. Yeah, yes. I see that you're driving. You be safe, Becca. I see that you commented and you're driving. Be careful. But if you still want to upgrade so you can join us tomorrow, reminder just what you get. You get replay access to our to this today. You're also going to get a ticket to our next 5 days to a fat loss mindset challenge. My absolute favorite thing in the world that we do as coaches. If you've done the challenge in the past, if you are able to comment, share something in the chat about that, if you don't mind. You get a free ticket to it. That's normally $37 just by itself. You get that for free. You get access to our flat tummy 5-step blueprint, okay, which is something new that we created for y'all. You get to hop on Zoom with us tomorrow, get a lot of questions answered. You get our Jumpstart Detox meal plan. You guys, there's a lot of things that you get. And then we're going to share an exclusive offer as well too. So really quickly, and then I'm going to move on, you guys. I just want to make sure that I got questions answered about this. I'm going to drop this in the chat. So if anybody wants it, go for it. You can still sign up for that today. But with that said,
I understand that, okay? If you want a VJ today, I'll give you one. Do not break up.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's get to it. If you're ready, drop ready in the comments. Hold on, I'm gonna actually make sure you guys are muted if y'all aren't muted. I know I'm muted, you guys, but I just want to make sure in case you have something going on that you probably don't want us to hear. All right. All right, let's get started. So what is possible? I want to start today. Thank you, Magdalene. I see your comment with being ready. What is possible for you all? Ladies, we love to paint a picture for you to understand if these other women that I'm going to show you in just a second have done all of the things that we're talking about here today. I know I believe it. I know Coach Lori believes it and Coach Anita believes it. If they can do it, so can you. And so I like to start this off today before we get into the teaching aspect of it, just so you can see what's possible and what some other women have achieved by simply focusing on what we're sharing with you all today. Kelly's one of my favorites to show because she's just a hardworking mom and nurse. Lori, I might let you pop in here and share a little bit about her really quick. Well, we won't go super long on these testimonies, but I do want to share a little bit about her background. She's busy. She's a mom. She's a nurse. If you're comfortable sharing a little bit about her journey.
Yeah, I mean, she came to us, she was just overworked. She had a lot going on. Like Angela said, she was a nurse and she was a night nurse. So just trying to figure out her schedule, and the ways that we worked. And listen, guys, like I would give her little tips and things that she could do, but she implemented it. She took it and she ran with it. I think that's the biggest thing is you really have to, as coaches, we can help you and guide you, but it's really up to shifting that perspective of where can I fit this in? What can I do to adjust my life right now or the season that I'm in to really make it work for her. And that's what she did. And let me tell you, once we got her going on her habits and her mindset, and that was such a big thing for her, it was like a complete 360. She really figured out that, she doesn't need to spend all this time on her workouts. She got it in when she could. She spent maybe 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes on her workouts. Strength training was like the number one, focusing on lowering her cardio down and just doing some walking here and there. I think just overall, and letting go of the perfection part of it was such a big piece for her. And then also letting go of, I have to do it all. I have to do it all. And she realized that she can, she can have other people, her family, her kids, her husband, have them help her in this journey. She had us to lean on, but in the end, she was like, it was such a blessing. Like the burden was lifted off of her, because she felt like just the stress was gone, and not having to worry about some type of like restrictive diets and all these crazy, things that she had to do. And she came out of it so much stronger. And just the mindset again is just such the biggest piece of it, because once that shifts, the goal, like it's endless what you can do. So it's definitely really important.
Yeah, no, I agree. I love it. I love her. And those of y'all that are nurses, if you're a nurse, put nurse in the chat. I'd love to see if there's any other nurses in here. She got on video and shared her whole testimony. So it's motivating. We can always tag you in it. It's in our free community, but a great example of putting herself first and starting to learn that word no. That was one of her biggest pieces that I think stood out to me on her video she shared, was she says no. And she now she has her teenage kids and her husband doing certain things that she always put that pressure on herself to do it herself. And it shows in her physical transformation, but her mental transformation is something you can see in her video. So she's one. Another beautiful soul that's part of our family and always will be is our beautiful Bernice. She worked close with Coach Anita, and Coach Anita is going to share just a tiny bit about her journey. She's in a different season of life at the current moment, but she's still she's a beautiful inspiration, always has been. So I'll let you, Anita, kind of share a little her journey.
Well, Bernice and I worked together for quite a while, and she was just someone who never believed she was worth it, right? She just, it really came down to mindset with her, because she's always been a hardworking woman. I mean, 8 children and, a very busy home life, and doing all of the domestic type duties that you can even imagine. And so she just was always putting herself on the back burner. And I believe with Bernice, and I know she believes it too, when she decided she was worth it, she started implementing, step by step, one habit at a time. And suddenly was like, I mean, you can just see in the photos that you can see that there's a different person there. And, but it did start with recognizing that she was worthy of investing in herself. And she's been just an incredible transformation, but really from the inside out.
Yeah, no, I love that. It was such an important piece to figure out that you are worth it. So I want to encourage you, if you're on that struggle bus right now, in the sense of like, I'm not really knowing that I'm worth it, like drop I am worth it in the chat. I just thought for you to affirm it, say it out loud, because you are worth it. And she invested in herself, not just with financials, she invested herself with actual time for herself. And
it was completely the time factor.
Yeah.
She had to invest in herself that way, invest in her mindset, recognizing that if she put herself first, I mean, everything going forward, I mean, the confidence, and now moving forward, she continues to be someone that I'm in touch with, and we talk, and the confidence she's got moving forward to walk away from things and toxic situations no longer serving her, because she had the confidence to, believe she was worthy of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I love her physical transformation, but by far her mental is by far one of my favorites to this day, and probably always will be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then the next one here, I got to brag on Shauna a little bit, and I think there's a few more we'll run through quickly and start to get into the meat and potatoes of today, you guys. But I love seeing you guys comment "I am worth it" in the chat, because you've got to believe that truly. Even if you start with just something super small, you are worth the time that you invest in yourselves. Shauna is a perfect example. Beautiful, amazing soul. Like, literally, she's worked with us now for over 2 years. It was 2 years in April, and she's still going. This is just a piece of her transformation. But Shauna came to us at a perfect storm. So Shauna came to us with no belief in that she was worth it, you guys. She struggled in so many different ways mentally, but she also had Hashimoto's she was battling. She was battling her thyroid issues, menopause, high blood pressure, and all the things. And she's an entrepreneur, and it was right in the middle of all the COVID stuff. And everything. So imagine all the things that she was battling. And she really, it came to me in a point where she didn't think that she would ever see results. If you've ever had something like Hashimoto's, especially, I know some of you on here might have, if you have any of these things, drop it in the chat. Hashimoto's or thyroid issues or menopause or any of these types of things, you have to understand, like, anything is possible. And that's exactly what she's a perfect example of it, in my personal opinion, because yeah, she was lost. In her first 12 weeks, she lost over 20 pounds, 30 inches. You guys, that's over her whole body. You can see it. And then most recently, yeah, I wasn't sure if I put this picture in there. I wasn't sure. She most recently, which also becomes part of the topic that we're going to talk about today, her scale started to go the other direction. It started going up, which slowly she because she's worked so heavily on her mindset, she was okay with it. She's like, oh, it's all good. And then we decided to put another updated picture together. And as you can see, she's 6 pounds heavier on the right, but look how much toner, tighter, and leaner she is, because she's losing fat, ladies, which is a totally different journey. So, and then a few more really quick. We'll go through. Esther's a phenomenal coach, or not, well, she's actually coaching now, but she's a beautiful soul that also has worked super close with Coach Anita. She came to us at a time after she had her second kid, talking about an perfect example of a busy mom that's running on fumes with little sleep, right? You want to elaborate a little on her, Anita? I'll let you do it.
You know, working with Esther is just really, it's such a joy. And I'm going to keep it super short, but Esther does the things you ask her to do. You know, she challenges herself. She's very coachable. And, you know, so she's been just such a joy of a client in that way, that it's like, this is what you need to do, and you need to trust the process. And like, just huge shout out to her that, you know, because when you're on this journey, it goes like this. And she just has continued to show up. And so you can see that there's results in the showing up and in the being coachable and in trusting the process. And yeah, she's a busy mom with you know, 2 little boys, and she takes them on her journey. You know, she's changed how she cooks for her family somewhat, you know, just different things. And it's just become this lifestyle of, you know, going for walks with the boys, and, you know, and she's had, you know, the ups and downs of, you know, different things too, and it just continues to show up. And so definitely believing that she's worth it, then falling in love with the process, and now wanting to help other women on their journey as well. So it's been a really, really cool experience, coaching her, for sure.
Yeah, she's a blessing. I love, she shared her whole journey on our last challenge that we did. So super excited for her, and also someone who's representing Canada. Those of you guys are in Canada. And one more, I believe this was the last one I have in here, you guys. Eva is working with Coach Lori as well, and she's super sweet, amazing lady. That this was just a transformation only in her first 6 weeks. I want you guys to look at her belly area, because if you struggle with belly area, put belly in the comments. I'd love for you to drop that and just know anything is possible. And a lot of women, when they start to work on their mindset, but their nutrition, of course, with the balanced nutrition, with you know, all the things that we coach you on and work on with you, anything is possible, because did she lose 3.5 inches from her waist in 6 weeks? That's all fat? No, not at all. Like, yes, there's some fat going away. She's also losing a lot of bloat, a lot of inflammation, which increases her energy, makes her feel better, you know, less discomfort. I mean, the list can go on and on and on. But I always love to be realistic as well as that. That's 3.5 inches from her waist in 6 weeks. Some fat, yes, but also bloat, inflammation, all the things that a lot of women are struggling with right now. So I see a lot of y'all commenting the word belly in the comments. So we wanted to share those with you because, again, we want you all to see what is possible, because, again, these are all busy women, busy moms with a lot of things on their plate, and they're making it happen. Just the simple things that we're gonna teach you some of them today. Obviously the others are, we teach you on a one-on-one basis at your pace, because everybody's definitely different in our programs. But what the biggest thing, what do these ladies have in common is the willingness to learn and implement new strategies. Just like Coach Anita said about Esther, she's coachable. She's so coachable. And so is Shauna, and so is Caitlin, who's on here today. And a lot of the women that are having success, it's because they're coachable and they listen, right? And there's this is the other magic sauce, in my personal opinion. They matched their season of life that they're in right now with what their body needed, as well as their minds. I want you to read that again or listen to that again. They matched their season of life that they were in and what their body needs, as well as their minds. Because any of us can honestly say, this is something I've struggled with for a while as well, was just simply being okay with I'll be 42 in less than a month. Mama's body is changing, which means so does my approach needs to change, right? And they were okay with that, which for some of us women, that's hard. How many of y'all say that that's a hard thing to grasp, knowing like I can't do what I did 10 plus years ago and expect it to work? It's different. So again, I already said this, but I want to really hone in on this again. Like, if they can do it, so can you, I promise. So our goal with today's masterclass is, you can take notes, of course. Again, if you did the VIP option, you're going to get, you know, all of this sent over to you in an email so that you can have it as well too, and the replay. But our goal today here, and everything that you see us do with the challenges, with the master classes, with the things that we do in our group, any of that, our goal is to help you educate. But we want to educate women on what really works. But more importantly, how in the world am I supposed to fit this into my busy life, right? Is that like the $1 million question? Somebody's not muted, so give me 1 second. Yep. So let's educate you on all of these. So who's ready to learn a little bit more about fat loss? Put ready again in the chat. Again, I told you I love to have y'all conversate in the chat as best you can. So who's ready to learn? Let's get into it. Ladies, coaches, I'm going to lean on y'all as well as I go through these. I'm seeing all the ready in the chat. I love it. So here's the truth. And this is the first part of what we want to teach you all today, right? We said we were going to teach you the difference between fat and weight loss. Fat loss, weight loss, two different things. The truth is, because you can focus on fat loss and you can lose the weight at the same time. I know coaches, y'all have probably heard this too. I can't tell you how many times I've had conversations with women. They were like, well, I need to lose the weight first, and then I can tone up. Like, no, it's not how it works. You can actually focus on fat loss, which you will lose weight at the same time. Okay. But where a lot of women go wrong, and it's just the lack of the knowledge of knowing, right? And the world that we live in with 20 million different things in our face every single day. You can focus on fat loss and lose the weight at the same time, or you can just focus on weight loss, just that number on the scale. But if you just focus on weight loss, it can also actually lead us to gaining fat, because it's the wrong approach. Even though your scale is going down, with these certain approaches that are out there in today's world that cause you to starve yourself or drop all the carbs in the world because carbs are the devil. No, they're not. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Or let me starve myself. Or you guys, the big thing right now that just makes the hair on my neck stand up is there's so many of these little pop-up shops that are coming up that are offering shots that you can take. It's a diabetic shot. Although if you take it, you're going to drop weight, but it causes you to be constantly nauseated, zero appetite. You're under eating like drastically crazy, but the scale's going down. So I'm seeing a lot of people go down that route. And not to go on a tangent there, but again, we're here to educate you on what's good and what really is harming our bodies? What's the bigger problem here? So here's my first question to you all again in the chat. Which one do you choose? Do you want to focus on just weight loss with the scale, or do you want to focus on actually losing some fat, which equates to weight loss that you can actually keep off? Which one do you choose? Let me see it in the comments. Fat loss, fat loss, fat loss. I love it. Oh gosh, I got to see your comment over here, Caitlin. You said your husband's doctor is trying to push stuff like that on him, but you best believe I let him know if he follows what I'm. Oh yeah, no shots needed. Whew. We'll have to chat about that, Caitlin. And that just drives me nuts because a lot of the doctors are doing that. I love it, Tanya. I want to lose fat and maintain muscle. Yes, okay. Everybody's saying fat loss coaches. I love it. So what's the difference? Let's get into the difference on these. I will run through these, and Nita and Lori, if either one of y'all have some 2 cents to throw in here, because I know we all have different aspects to explain it, but holy cow, there's so much value in everything that we have to say.
Well, can I just say one thing?
Please.
With everyone in the chat saying they all want the fat loss, they all want the fat loss. And I absolutely 100% believe that you do. And then we get onto social media and we fall back into that stepping on the scale habit. And then we tie our identity to some number, So I think that's where the whole mindset shift around that. And that's why we love talking about this, because even if you're hearing it for the second, third, or 10,000th time, it just really solidifies. We all want the fat loss. We don't want to let that scale number define who we are or what our health looks like or any of those things. We know that. And so I think, that's why it's okay to listen to it again and again and again, because there's so much value, and we just are such creatures of habit. We need to remember that, right? And so that's why I love doing this masterclass as well.
Yeah, no, me too. I love the educational side of it, because it's what we do in our programs too, is we want you to understand the method behind the madness. We want you to understand the damage that some of these things that are all over social media are doing to not just our mental health, but also our body, which is making you feel stuck, which is making you constantly feel like you're losing and gaining and losing and gaining and losing and gaining the same 10, 15, 20 pounds over and over and over. And I know every conversation I have with ladies is they're sick and tired of that. They're just over it. Like, I don't want to do that anymore. It's exhausting. And so again, weight loss here refers to a decrease in your overall body weight. All that means is it's a number. Weight loss can also be coming from losing muscle, losing water, but you can also lose fat and lose weight. Okay. And again, that's where we want to paint this picture for you all today. All weight loss means is that weight loss is weight. Weight is the number on the scale, right? Is it important? Yes. Is it the full picture? Absolutely not. Fat loss actually refers to your weight that you lose from losing fat. And it's a more specific, healthy goal than just focusing on that number, just focusing on weight. Okay, weight loss. Kind of a repeat here. Weight loss includes water and muscle loss, which can also be detrimental to our health. Ladies, we need muscle. The older we get, the more our bodies really need it. There's so many different benefits. It's not about what we look like. It's not just having muscle doesn't mean I have 6-pack abs and ripped up arms. That's not having muscle. Lean muscle is so good for so many different ways here. Fat loss will help decrease risks associated with chronic diseases, inflammation, reduce muscle mass loss. And most importantly, why I put it in red is help you maintain the loss as well. It's not a quick fix. There's a reason it takes a little bit of time to lose weight. You got to trust the process, or to lose fat. Trusting the process is key. This is why we focus on it. Do you, Lori or Anita, have anything that y'all want to add to that before I keep rambling and move on?
I was just going to add one little thing. When some of these ladies come to me first with the goal setting calls that I do, and talking about that, more and more I'm starting to hear more. I just want to feel healthy, and I love that wish that, we could just take the whole, I want to lose weight out of the factor. Yes, it's important, like Angela said, but I want to hear more women say, I just want to feel healthier. I want to eat more and feel energized and have the energy and just be in the season that I'm in and just enjoy it. Instead of just being like, I want to lose all this weight. And yes, it's important, but that is like, I want to shout it from the rooftops, just to like push that thing to the side. Like, I don't even look at it. I put it away. It's not even there for me to get on, and just feeling healthier instead of because once you lose that mindset of that number, everything else will follow. And it's just, I've seen it happen, and it's happened with me. So I'm a true testament of that. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah. I every time I get on a call with someone as well too, it's exactly what I hear is I want to feel better. I want to love who I'm at I want to love the person that I see in the mirror. Like I want to love myself in my own skin. Like very seldom do anybody actually throw a number out there to me anymore in today's world. I think women are becoming more aware of like, I don't really care about this number on the scale anymore. I just want to feel good. I want to function. I want to be able to keep up with my kids or my grandkids or stop missing out on life and all of the things. So if you relate to any of that, just relate in the chat because it's so important. Feel and function is what we love to help you focus on. And so again, kind of jumping ahead, why focus on it? We already said this, but fat loss can lead you to the weight loss that you can keep off. You can keep it off. Keep it off. I can't say that enough. So if you are sick and tired of losing those same pounds over and over and over, we're about to go into 4 of the big fundamentals that what we love to help you either learn, or some of it is more about unlearning than it is about learning new stuff. It's just unlearning, unprogramming our brain for what this world and society has programmed us. It's time to shift your focus to lose fat instead of just looking at the weight, right? So in order to shift your focus, it all starts with this. Okay. We know this, but like I think it was you, then Nita said that, yeah, sometimes you need to hear something the 27,000th time. And then it's like, oh my gosh, the light bulb. I can't say how many times that's happened to me. I'm like, wait, I had someone tell me that 27 times and you just said it the 28th. Holy crap. Now it clicks. So the mental shifts truly are the fundamentals of what we coach with fat loss, so that we do lead our clients, because we want to lead our clients to long-term fat loss, overall health, mental health, all the things at the same time. I love it. Melissa's in the chat. Melissa's amazing soul working with us, close with Coach Anita. I'm getting better at not caring about what the scale says. I only weigh on my weigh-in days instead of weighing in 2 times a week or so. Yeah, I love that. It's not an easy, it's a process, right, Melissa? So the first one that we're going to chat about today is just viewing your food only for your outward appearance will keep you stuck. What does that mean? It's if you look at every single thing that goes in your mouth as, oh my gosh, that's going to make me look fat or gain weight, or that's bad, that's good, that's good. Like reprogramming your mind to not look at your food because of what it's going to make you look like, but instead making it about how you're gonna feel. You heard Coach Lori say, a lot of women come to us like, I want to feel and be able to function good again. And if I lose weight in the process, awesome. It's not just about that, right? And so the word that I always love to like really drill in your mind when you're on this call or anything that we do is just learning to look at your food is your instructions on how you're going to feel and function that day. Instructions, put instructions in the chat so that I know that it's sinking in. And Lori or Anita, do y'all want to chime in on this one? I know I love this topic, but I will.
Coming from my background, I'm sure you guys have heard it, just being super, super restrictive and not barely eating anything, which was crazy that I ever went through that phase. But, it's part of who I am and part of my strengths now, I guess. And just, I don't look at it that way anymore. I'm going to eat, I'm going to enjoy it. And if something's not going to make me feel good, I'm still going to enjoy, the treats and sweets and stuff like that, but I'm not going to overdo it because I know it's not going to make me feel good. And I choose to have things that are going to fuel me and give me that energy and all the things. But no, I'm not going to deny things that are yummy too, and part of life and part of celebrations and all the things. I just don't overdo it. But you just have to, view your whole outlook on food nowadays, where I'm not going to say no to that. I can still have that, but it may not, make me feel good or whatever. So it's just such a whole mind shift. It just, from my experience of what I went through, it's just so crazy, how thinking that people do still think that way. And I want to just shout it from the rooftops again. Like, it's just, it can change, and you can totally view it so differently now.
Yeah, I come from a background where I did definitely go through a season of my life where I was very restrictive. I was incredibly, this was good and this was bad. And it was sort of when that whole idea of clean eating came out, and it was like, well, it's clean, or well, I've only eaten clean, so I should be losing weight. And it was just a real interesting way of just, you were just bombed with all of this information, and not of it, all of it, it's just not, it was not helpful. And it was informative, and there's definitely foods that are cleaner than others and all that. So that's a whole nother topic. But I just wanted to chime in here because I actually, after having a conversation with a client yesterday, and we were just discussing the importance of, starting your day with breakfast and things like this. Today, I came across this little quote or whatever, and it follows perfectly with this. And I just pulled it up here on my phone, and it says, food, sleep, and exercise are all signals or messages for your metabolism. Be mindful of what you're sending. And so, I mean, all the things that we're putting in our body and doing for it are messages. We're sending our body messages. And so how you start your day, I mean, if you start your day, and this is, again, not saying what's good or bad, but if you're going to start your day, like I did today with 2 eggs and sprouted toast versus having, sugary donut, my body's going to respond differently just because of how I feel, how I show up for my people, and that kind of thing. So what kind of instructions did I send it for how I want to perform now?
Absolutely. I love that. And to me, it's always like paint a picture of like you're standing here and you're at a fork in the road, and you've got this direction, you've got this direction. It's not, this is going to make me fat and this is going to help me lose weight. It's more of like, this is going to make me, if I go the sugary donut route, this is going to make me feel really tired and lethargic and maybe even a little moody. You guys, sugar and all kinds of things affects way more than our waistline. And or if I go down this road and eat the toast and the eggs, like, man, I'm going to be on point today. I'm going to have energy today. I'm going to be able to focus today. I'm going to be in a good mood today. Which
And I
road do
won't
I
be,
take?
and I won't be hungry in an hour,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then I'm hangry, and then I make other bad choices. Y'all, I kind of did it to myself yesterday. I was like, we kind of at the last minute, I loaded my stuff up and went with my husband, and he was taking the kids to the mall to go get something. And I'm like, I'm gonna treat myself. I just told everyone else to go treat themselves. I'm like, I think I'm going to go treat myself to a new pair of shoes. But in the process of that, I just grabbed a piece of chicken breast, and I ate the chicken breast with me on the way there because I was not going to eat out. I just didn't want to. I don't like how I feel when I eat out at a fast food or whatever. And so anyways, I got home and I'm like, man, I'm starting to get a little bit of a headache, and I'm a little tired. I'm like, oh my gosh, where's my carbs? I didn't eat all my carbs. I took the chicken, great piece of protein, but I forgot the rest. So when you start to feel bad, don't go to the caffeine and all the other things that are band-aids. Like, what did I eat today? And what did I not eat? Big piece of just really shifting your mind is instructions. Obviously we already basically summed this up, but it's more your food and your instructions. It's about your energy. It's your mental focus. It's also your fuel to burn fat that is actually going on inside of your body when you feed your body with enough consistently. Not just enough one day and then I'm starving myself the next 3 days. It is everything in life you want to be successful at. It's consistency is the key word, right? And so we already talked briefly about carbs, but carbs are your body's preferred source of fuel. Okay. And if you've ever been scared of carbs. Put carbs in the chat. Just write the word carbs in the chat, because I think this is a very big thing in today's world. I know we hear it a lot as coaches. I'm just going to cut out my carbs. Are you sure my carbs are, should I eat that many carbs so I can drop? Are you sure? Yes, we're positive. Carbs are not bad for you. It's a matter of, you actually need more carbs than you think, ladies. Like, as you can see, your brain alone needs 120 carbs a day for you to be able to perform at top levels. If you're walking around with a, like, what's that little saying with you, like a head, like a chicken with his head cut off. And I mean, we all have moments where we're a little tired and a little stressed or whatever. We can't remember where our keys are. But I mean, on a daily basis at a really chronic level, 9 times out of 10, you're not getting enough fuel for your brain. And so carbs, eat your carbs, ladies. They're also very crucially, carbs are a big part of building muscle. If you want to tone, you want to lose fat, you need carbs in your life, you guys. You can't build muscle without them. And let me move on to the next one. This is the last one, then we'll move on to the next motivation, fundamental. So here's the other one that I always love to highlight on, is because in today's world, most women that come to us before they're working with us, they are chronically under eating because they're busy. Or like Anita said in the perfect example of her client that she was chatting with yesterday, she was skipping breakfast and then some. It's normal in today's society. And I hate that it's normal, but most women gravitate to things like intermittent fasting or restricting calories a lot of times because it's easy, or they're busy. I'd love to add that to this slide, easy or busy. Okay. How many of you guys can honestly say, I'm so busy, I've totally skipped meals because I'm so busy? Put busy in the comments. I've done it. I've totally done it in the past. Now I'm trained in my brain and my body that it won't let me, because then I start to notice that I'm like hungry, hangry, tired, brain's not working, all the things. But the thing about with intermittent fasting, especially, you guys, I'm not knocking it, because I know some coaches that do phenomenal things with people with fasting. The type of women that gravitate to us, it's one of the worst things in my personal opinion. Why? Because we're already busy, we're already under eating, and then you throw intermittent fasting on top of that. Now we're chronically under eating, which is damaging our bodies more than anything. It creates more habits of under eating, which stresses out your body, which causes hormone havoc. Okay. Can totally throw off your entire body. And to the extreme where missing cycles and all kinds of things with our menstrual cycle. I know Anita can speak on that. And it damages your metabolism. When you undereat chronically, your metabolism is going from here to crawling like a little snail. And the good news is we can speed it back up with eating enough, but these are why I don't like these two things. Do either one of y'all want to chime in on that? The chronic under eating or any of these?
Well, when it comes to intermittent fasting, and again, yeah, I don't want to knock it, because I think that it does have its place in certain people's lives, depending on, but the problem with it is that people see that their friend lost weight because they did this thing. So now they're going to do it, but they're not truly educated on what intermittent fasting is, who it's designed for, and that kind of thing. And I know that a lot from my, just from the reading and research and things that I have researched and looked at, a lot of the things that you will see on social media, if you've been going, I think I want to try that, a lot of it really is designed for men. And because we have different needs, different hormone needs. And so for me, and for just the stress on the body and the hormones, being a woman over 40, I think that it's just a lack of education going into what that looks like. And so it's why I don't recommend it for women over 40. But again, it has its place. It's just, if that makes sense. But I do see that a lot of the stuff where this is really effective, I find that men have more success with it. That's my experience. And so it's not to say it doesn't work for people. I know people, like you said, there's coaches that utilize it, but they are really guiding their clients in the right way and under like much more it's not just some random new diet that's been thrown out.
Correct. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, I agree. It's the education and the doing it wrong. I think a lot of women just kind of try to, they gravitate to it. Like you said, friends are doing it, they're having success when, well, I don't eat breakfast anyway. So let me just continue to prolong when I actually eat and call it fasting. And it's just, it's not, it's starved. It's more of a starving mode. Yeah, Becca said I miserably failed at intermittent fasting. It's all good. You know what? We live, we learn. I've done things when I was doing figure competitions that I'm like, oh, no way in the world would I ever do that again. I failed miserably at taking care of myself. I looked a certain way for a very temporary short period of time and just not worth it. The last little touch point, and I'll go quickly on this because I know we're kind of we're good on time, but the last piece of this, you guys, that I want to really hone in on that I think is very important for us as ladies, because we are emotional creatures. We are programmed a little easier than like the men and all the things. But a lot of the things, most women don't really realize their relationship that don't realize the relationship they have around food will dramatically overlap on our family. Meaning if I won't eat this or I won't eat that, or all the bad things that we feel and think around food truly does overlap on our kids and our family and people around us. And it's honestly, it's very likely where a lot of our programming came from. I know some of you guys, you can say it in the chat if you want to, or just think about it, like where you were programmed in that sense. A lot of the things, I wasn't really ever negative or around a negative environment around food in life as I was growing up, but I was always in a negative place around money. So I struggle with money issues or money stress just constantly, no matter what's in the bank. It doesn't matter. I'm always stressing about it. Why? Because I was programmed that way with a single mom that struggled to get by and feed us on a daily basis, right? It's the same kind of thing with food. I know a lot of women who have expressed to me that their mom was always on a diet, or their mom told me, and I'm just using mom as an example. Maybe it was somebody else in your life, but sometimes it was, them telling you don't eat that, that's going to make you fat, or this or that, and those kind of relationships are, I know what we don't want to be. The beautiful thing is we have the power to control it. We have the power to change it. And yeah, thank you for sharing that, Caitlin. She said, definitely my tendencies definitely carry over from childhood. And so imagine, like, one of the biggest motivational factors for, I know myself and a lot of women, like, I don't want to teach that to my kids. So I'm like, I want to break that cycle so bad. And we have the power to do that, right? No matter if your kids are tiny or now, or maybe they're grown adults, it's still never too late, right? So the things that we do for ourselves will positively influence and overlap on our family as well too. So how we look at food matters, not just because of how we look on the outside, but also how we teach everybody else around us to think about food. And so that's always just one little one for your heart today to think about. Sometimes that one little thing can be like, there's the motivation I need right there, because I don't want to overlap on my babies. So let's move on to the fitness piece. Fundamental number 2, fitness. I love it. Fitness, I love to always remind everyone that fitness is 20% about what you look like and 80% for your mental health and your energy. Why do we say that? Why? Because again, it's so incredibly important for us to understand that when we go move our bodies, the more we move our bodies, whether that's a walk or a workout or some squats at our desk because we're busy, or squats when we brush our teeth. I mean, there's a lot of things. These are little things that we like to actually talk about in our challenge that we have coming up. Fitness is 20% about what you look like, ladies. And if we can wrap our head around that, you're going to be finding a little bit more motivation to go do the walks or the workouts that maybe you don't want to do right now, right? If all we look at our workouts is because this is helping me lose weight, I've got to go work out because I'm trying to lose weight, right? Like that doesn't sound appealing at all. But when it's like, this is going to make me feel so much more calm and be in a better mood and have a better mindset today, well, I'm going to go for my walk. So 70% of women never really start a fitness routine because they feel they need hours in the gym, or it's not worth it. So how many can honestly say, just put me in the chat if that's ever been you? Like, I don't have a full hour or 2 hours to go to the gym. So what's the point to even go do anything, right? all you need is 10 minutes. So I will let one of y'all, Lori or Anita, chime in on this one if y'all want to. I know we always love to preach 10 minutes. If you're not doing anything right now, I guarantee we all have 10 minutes somewhere that we can find to go move our bodies.
Yeah, actually, it just kind of brought to mind Danielle, who I'm working with. She's like, I finally realized I don't have to be like in the gym 6 days a week, crushing this. She's like, it's such an amazing shift in me and in herself. She's seeing in herself of just, not wanting to kill herself. And it's, we've cut down on the amount of, she focuses on steps more, getting her steps in and stuff. And she's a busy teacher and all that. But, and a lot of ladies that, even Melissa in here, like I know she's on, Melissa Dowd, working with her, it's just like, you incorporate for her busy days, with her 2 daughters and fitting in her walks here, and, maybe at nighttime, it's sometimes at night, or it's in the morning, but really just giving them the, I guess, like the permission, like you have got to like allow yourself to just do these 15 minutes. It's going to help you tremendously. And that's what, Melissa's doing. And she is, her size of her clothes are going down. And Melissa, yes, I'm shouting you out just because you've done an amazing example. And it's only what I think she was doing 3 days and now she's doing 4 days. But her size of her clothes are going down. She's glowing. And she's only doing 15-minute workouts, and that's all she has time for. Maybe in down the future, we can start to build up, but it's just walking more and then doing those 15-minute strength training workouts. And there's a lot of ladies that I could talk about that just have so much going on and be like, hey, let's reel it back in and let's take away those, demands of you have to spend 30 minutes or 45 minutes in the gym or doing weights. Let's just work with what you have right now. And again, it's such a shift of, I feel so good, and even like I was like that with cardio. I was like, I've got to get on some type of cardio machine and I've got to sweat my butt off. But no, now it's just like I lift and then I'll go for like a maybe 1 mile, 2 mile walk. And I feel so much better. And my cortisol levels, my stress is down. And my body's still changing,
Yeah, I know. I love that. And it's one of my favorite parts, to be honest with you, in this season of life, like wherever you're at, whatever season of life you're at. I already said it. We're all in our 40s. So whatever season of your life, I don't think a season, it means a number or an age specifically. It's like your level of busy, your level of stress, your all the things. I love the season of life because now I just go to the gym 3 days a week and do weights and then walk. Now I'm walking every day. I was just walking a couple days a week, but I enjoy the walk because I used to think I had to go the beast mode crazy and go kill myself in the gym and be laid out flat. And I needed to be so sore the next day, or I didn't feel accomplished and all of these things. And I know a lot of you ladies on here today might very likely be relating to everything that we're saying, but truly, you don't have to have an hour a day. Honestly, most of our women do 30, 40 minutes is like some of the longest workouts. You don't need long, and you definitely don't need 6 days a week. You don't even need 5. Everybody's kind of different. So, and I guarantee, and 10 minutes a day, ladies, if you're not doing anything right now, 10 minutes a day is truly enough to get you started, because not only is it going to help your body start to actually respond, but it's going to help your mind. It's going to trigger your mind to to gain confidence that I can freaking do this. Find time for me. I just found 10 minutes. I just proved myself. Don't go from 0 to hero, meaning I don't have any time for myself, to trying to go for a full hour and then you're not able to get it in. And then you start to beat yourself up and then you go on this ugly negative cycle of never, just always feeling stuck. So if anything, we love to preach 10 minutes a day is always a good place to start. And then you grow from there. Ooh, this one might be good for you to need it to pop in. This one I feel like you're so good about, with talking about cardio versus weight training. Most women just stick to cardio only to lose weight because that's usually all they know, or it's it's easier. It can be intimidating to walk into a gym with a bunch of equipment and figure out what the heck am I supposed to do here. But we need less, we need cardio. We need less cardio, more weights. You want to
Sure. Yeah. And with the other slide prior, I was just thinking, one of the things that I always say is more is not always better. Doing it better is better. So, you know, when you give yourself those 10 minutes, you know, often that's going to turn into 15, because you just take that mindset piece of thinking you need to just go all in for an hour, and you're like, well, I can't do that, I don't have that much time. But when you can, you know, reinforce that I only need 10 minutes, you probably will stick it out a little bit longer, because you're going to start recognizing how good you feel. And when you feel good, you want to do something because it continues to make you feel good. I sometimes think that's why cardio has become that thing, where, you know, if you've been a runner before, I come as a past half marathoner. And so I understand that dopamine hit that you get from running, and how that feels. But what excessive cardio is going to do for you is it, you know, there's a term that's called skinny fat. And you will burn calories, but you will only burn calories while you are doing that cardio. You don't, when you're done running the mile or the 2 or the 3, fat burning like stops. And when you lift weights, you actually are increasing your metabolism, and that your body goes into fat burning mode for 24 to 36 hours after your weightlifting session is over. So there's so much value in that. And you know, when you have more muscle on your frame, you can be sitting in a Zoom call and you are in fat burning mode, because muscles burn fat at rest, whereas fat is just fat and fat just sits there. So cardio, there is definitely a place for it when it comes to heart health, when it comes to, you know, cardiovascular health, and you know, all of that. But weight training is truly where it's at. You know, I'm turning 50 this year, and for me, one of the things that I love talking about is aging well. And to me, lifting weights is the best anti-aging tool that I know that's out there too. So definitely, it trumps cardio in all the ways.
Yep, hands down, 100%. So much benefit to it. So pick up the weights, ladies. They are our friends, 100%. And you may not be savvy or understand what to do, when to do. I mean, obviously, there's so many different things that you can do in that sense. Or like some of these ladies have, you know, just truly invested in themselves to get some help, so you understand. So you don't waste time, so you don't waste hours, you don't waste energy trying to figure it out or do random YouTube workouts. I mean, there's a lot of value on those types of things, right? And it fits some people's budget the best, and that's awesome. Random workouts though will bring you random results. There's a method behind our madness with creating a structured routine for you. So before we go into the next one, I always love to ask you guys this, because it's a mindset. Again, it's a mindset shift to help you remember, I need to go work out. Why? Not because it's going to make me lose weight, not because it's going to change my physical appearance, but how do you feel when you go work out or do a simple walk? Drop it in the chat. Like, how do you feel when you do it, and how do you feel when you skip it? I think those are my 2 favorite questions to ask ladies, that especially if you're struggling finding time for it. You tend to make a little bit more time for it when you realize that I'm really tired today. Well, that's more reason to go for that walk. Why? Because that's going to be your natural energy booster versus the caffeine or the whatever it is that you tends to be where your go-to, right? Or better than going and just sitting and not doing anything, right? And then a whole nother thing starts to play. I love seeing y'all's. I used to dread lifting weights, and now my arm days are my favorite. Melissa, I love that. I need the gym for my mind and most. Yes. Oh my gosh. I love that you said that, Becca. I need the gym for my mind and for my body, but mostly for my mind. Absolutely. Amazing after workouts, and walk, lazy when I skip them. I love that you said that too, Melissa, because I know a lot of us can probably relate to that as well. I feel so accomplished when I do. If I don't, I'm moody, sluggish, and feel defeated. I feel more energetic when I don't feel, or do when I feel lazy when I don't. Yeah. See, I love it. So keep those things in mind, so you guys can always remember, hey, this is why I'm doing this, because I feel good. It makes me feel good. That's where my energy should come from. So the next one, we only have 2 more, and these next 2 will go a little faster. I promise. I think fundamental number 3 is we talked about this a little bit at the very beginning. But if you are only looking at the scale for your progress, you are setting yourself up for failure. We see this all day long, all day, every day, all day, every day, right? It's hard to not just look at the scale. But it's so incredibly important. I joke about it all the time, but I am waiting for the person to actually do this video for me and send it to me. But I swear, like, if you are someone that is just a habit to get on the scale every day, every day, every day. I used to actually have a coach that made me get on the scale every day. And I'm like, I really don't want to get on the scale today. Do I have to get on the scale today? There was a method behind their madness, but I would personally never ask anybody to get on the scale. I recommend you not. Why? Because if you can't emotionally and mentally be okay with the fact that the scale is going to fluctuate a little bit every single day, get the sledgehammer and sledge that thing. Smash it.
I've had some hide it in their basement or smash it or throw it in the garbage because, and yeah, if you know that you are not at that place, I don't have clients away. We're going to focus on photos and we're going to focus on how your clothes fit and we're going to focus on measurements, and we just do not even step on the scale.
Yes.
That's just how little value it has.
Yeah. It by far does not tell the whole picture. There's 3 things that we focus on right here. The first one is what she just said, measurements. It's all about the inches, ladies. Measure, 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 measure. You can get a $2 to $3 measuring tape. I thought I had one somewhere in my desk that you could get one in the fabric section of Walmart or wherever it is. Go to Amazon, get one. I promise you're going to wish that you're going to appreciate it when you do, because we have women all day long. I know Lori and I were just chatting with one of the clients she's working with yesterday and today about hers, because her scale isn't not necessarily moving. But guess what? She's down 1 inch in her waist. It's freaking phenomenal, right? Like, if you're just focusing on the scale, you're not seeing the bigger picture. Focus on inches. The scale might not change. I always use Esther. It was actually Esther when she very first started. I always remember her. And then Jessica, another girl. She's not coaching with us anymore, but they were both started at the same time in the same program. And they went for 6 weeks and they both lost the same exact amount of inches. And I can't remember how much it was, but it was, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 inches, somewhere around there. They both lost the same amount of inches. They both had drastically differences that you could see in their pictures. Esther lost 15 pounds. Jessica lost 0. Okay. And I always remember them too, because they stand out, because it's a perfect example of, like, they both had drastic transformations. If they just looked at the scale, Jessica would have said, screw this didn't work. She left so excited for her progress because she wasn't just only focusing on the scale. So it's so crucial. Focus on inches, ladies. Like, at least measure your chest is going to go down when you lose weight. It just is what it is. It's how our bodies work. Measure it if you want to. Big time inches around your waist, your belly button, your hips, your thighs. And I like to go upper thighs, right around that saddlebag area, ladies, because that's where you're going to see the change. That's where we want the change. Those are the 3 main areas, or do your whole body, but focus on those areas that matter most. Measure your inches. Okay. The next one is also what Anita already said, pictures. Ladies, I know pictures are hard for some women. Some women have a really hard time. I know we can all probably vouch. We've had ladies that were very emotional after taking their pictures. They don't like their pictures. They don't want to take their pictures, but we encourage them to, because later on down the road, you're going to be so freaking happy that you took your pictures. Again, you go ahead, Anita.
There's actually times where I've said, please take those initial, like right before we're going to start day 1 of coaching, and they feel exactly the way you described. And so I said, take the pictures, even if you're not ready to upload them, keep them for yourself. You don't even have to show me yet, but at least take them so you have them. And because it's a very vulnerable thing. And I would never, we don't share them with anyone else without your permission or anything like that. But to have that, like, I wish I had photos. And now when I'm trying to do some kind of a progress thing, I'm finding some picture where I'm, hiding behind my babies or doing whatever. And I don't have that to celebrate me and how far I've come. And so I tell them, new clients, and most of them do just upload them and it's just between them and I. But for anyone who's not ready, like take the photos, put them in a hidden album on your phone until you are ready, because you're like, I gotta see, because I know I'm changing, and it's just exciting down the road. But it's a regret I have, so I never want someone else to regret it the way that I do.
Yeah, no, I love that. And that is a regret. And I think, Lori, you shared that with me before too, with your whole transformation. You wish you had a picture of yourself back when you were
I
under
do.
100 pounds,
When I wish I could look at myself. I'm desperately trying to look for pictures. And this was the day and age when we didn't have phones and we didn't have all this stuff, technology to take. We had, pictures, but I'm like, I can't find them. And I want to find it so bad just because seeing such a difference. And I was the other way. I gained all the weight, but I needed to in a healthy way.
Right. Yeah. And Melissa just shared in the chat. She said, pictures are everything. I only lost very little one weigh in day. And Lori showed me the very first picture to the reset, and the progress was amazing because I didn't see the whole picture. Yeah. And you do become grateful, and it might be emotional, and you might cry, and you might just not love what you're seeing in the pictures, but using that as fuel and motivation. And like she said, take them. I've even had clients take them, send them to me, and then delete them from their phone because they didn't want to see them. However, when it came time to progress and I saw drastic changes happening, I always show them so that they can see. And it shifts your mind to be like, holy crap, I am doing good. Check her out. Right? Like, look at me. Who cares what that scale says? Because they're on a fat loss journey. Like the ladies that one lost 15 pounds, one lost 0. Like it's so hard to tell. We can't say, hey, everybody's going to lose 10 pounds in their first 6 weeks, because that's not true. It's we don't know, but you will see change. You will see progress. And then the last piece of this too is just focus on how you feel. A lot of times we don't give ourselves credit for all the habits that we've done because the scale didn't move. Well, who cares? Like, are you feeling better? Are you having more energy? Are your clothes fitting better? Are you less of a monster mom or irritable wife? That was my journey back in the day when I wasn't taking care of myself, or eating and just skipping workouts, skipping meals, doing all the things that we preach to not to do, right? We've all been there at one point in time in our journey. I was monster mom and irritable wife, and I did not like how I was showing up. So take it, reflect as well on like how you're showing up for your family, for yourself. Are you getting more done because you have more mental clarity and energy, and you still have energy to go at the end of the day? Where that's some of the ladies that we've coached, like that's been some of their most non-subtle notices in themselves. So like, I actually have energy to fold the laundry after work instead of wanting to crash on the couch at 6 o'clock and have no energy left for the family, right? Like little things like that. Focus on how you feel. Because again, when you're losing fat, the beautiful byproduct or side effects, whatever you want to call them, your energy increases. And so does your strength, and your mood enhances. And so many beautiful things that go along with, I'm also losing inches and going from a size whatever to whatever. So focus on that as well. And then here's the last one. I think we only have 2 slides left, ladies, and then we'll wrap it up here. But if anybody is on, I know this is going a little longer than intended, but if you have questions, definitely drop them in the chat, or you can ask here shortly. And yeah, Caitlin said, I noticed more energy. I notice energy changes so much. Yeah. And that's priceless. You can't put a price tag on energy and the level of presence that you're having. Your family is not going to remember what size you were or what the scale says. Your family is going to remember were you present? Were you energized? Were you mom that played with the kids? Right? That's what we're looking for. And then this last piece right here, and like I said, we'll wrap it up here, but this is a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people, but I always love to point it out. And it's something that I learned the hard way as well. But it's more selfish for us to ignore our health than it is to put ourselves in our priority of health, or than it is to put ourselves as a top priority. I can't even read my own words. You get what I'm trying to say here, ladies. We often let mom guilt or whatever type of guilt keep us from putting ourselves first, when in reality, the more we ignore ourselves, It's actually a lot more selfish than it is to just take an extra 10 minutes for yourself, or take 30 minutes for yourself, or go spend some money on yourself, or whatever the case may be, right? It is more selfish to ignore ourselves. It's a hard pill to swallow, but it's incredibly true. This is a really big myth. If you, either one of y'all want to chime in on this one, you totally are welcome to, because I think this is very common in today's world, in our society, whether it's life or just motherhood, or if you're growing a business or whatever it is that you're doing. As women and moms, I feel like we've been programmed that we're required to do it all ourselves and sacrifice ourselves to do for everybody else. And it's so incredibly untrue. We are not required. However, it's second nature to us all to do that. If you agree, put agree in the chat. So I know you guys are still with me. I know we're going long here. But the top struggles we're going to go into. Yeah, I see you guys putting agree. I love it. The top struggles that are keeping us going down this road of not taking care of ourselves, and really putting that pressure on ourselves to do everything by ourselves and all the things, and not take care of ourselves. The number one struggle, there's a few struggles here we're going to cover, and then we'll wrap it up, you guys. But the first one is just struggling saying no. We'll talk about this a lot. We all do as coaches inside of our community, but we have to really get good at saying no. And just put no in the chat if you're still with me here, so I know that you're listening. Like, we've got to learn to say no. One of my favorite things to say nowadays, I actually feel good when I say no. I used to feel really bad. I used to feel really guilty. I used to worry so much about what everybody else thought, because I was going to say no, because they would always come to me for this and that and the other. Now they don't usually come to me that often, or if they do, I had one of the pastors at my church asked me to do something a couple weeks ago, and he's like, I know you've got a lot on your plate. Please don't answer me now. Just think about it, pray about it, because I've said no in the past, because like I don't really have the bandwidth as much as I would absolutely love to do that. Just, I promised myself I wouldn't take on too many things, and they respect it when you tell them, right? I see a lot of you guys saying no in the comments.
I think you also tend to, in my, I know, speaking from myself and my personality, I guess, it's like, I don't want to feel frazzled in life. I want to feel calm, and I want to enjoy my day. And when I say yes to so many things, or, whatever it is, I don't have trouble saying no anymore, and I don't want to live my life feeling overwhelmed with too many activities and feeling like I'm just miserable because I'm too overworked or whatever. So I think you just have to come to reality for who you are as a person, and what you can actually put up and do, and what makes you happy, right?
Yes, 100%.
It
Absolutely.
takes practice.
Mhm.
It takes practice. It takes practice, like any other habit that you refine and you keep working at. You got to, just like willpower and all of these things, practicing showing up for yourself will be, practicing saying no when something is no longer serving you. And I think the biggest part of that is you are more confident saying no and recognizing what you need to do for you when you put that mindset piece in there. And that's why mindset is such a huge part of our coaching. And it really is at the forefront of everything, because when your mindset is right, you start saying no and you don't feel guilty about it, because you recognize the value of making yourself a priority.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it does take practice, and the biggest tip, and we'll move on to the next one, I always love to share with you all, is don't say yes to anything in the moment. Like, really get into the routine of saying it, even if you probably will do it, you can do it. I don't say yes to anything anymore. Like, some people ask me, and I will literally, a lot of times, and Coach Anita and Lori know this, because sometimes I'll get a message and I'm like, I'm going to marinate on that one. I'm going to think about it, because I want to come at them with a response that's going to be the correct way to say it. And same thing with this. Like, if someone's asking you to do something you're unsure, just come up with a routine response that says, I'm not sure, let me get back to you. Let me get back to you. And then you can go marinate on it. You can go think about it. You can go pray about it. You can think, man, this is too much. I got too much on my plate. Because yeah, like Lori said, like, a lot of times we feel overwhelmed and overtaxed because we put that pressure on ourselves, because we don't know how to say no, right? Or this next one, we don't the third one, actually, I was going to tie these two together, was we don't ask for help either. How many of y'all struggle asking for help? Just put help in the chat, because again, this is another one that a lot of us struggle big time on. We don't want to ask our spouses to help with the kids. We don't want to ask our kids to help with the dishes. We don't want to ask our friend to help watch the kids while mommy can go have 30 minutes of peace and quiet for myself, right? Or any of these types of things. A lot of us struggle just simply asking for help. Those are two really massive things that hold a lot of women back. And yeah, there's top struggles leading women to they usually encourage, or not encourage, they usually create them to gain weight, gain fat instead of loss. Why? Because these things are keeping you from yourself, is really all that means. It's keeping you from focusing on you or giving yourself a little bit of time or a little bit of focus. I love that. Caitlin, she said she's gotten so much better at asking for help. Yeah, I love that. So learn to say no. Be okay with asking for help, you guys. It does not mean we are weak. It doesn't mean nothing negative. It is, to me, it's a sign of courage. It's just really, truly a sign of courage. I'm asking for help because, you know what? I just need it, and that's okay. And then the other one that I already put out here is not planning themselves, right? And their to-dos. Like in our 5-day mindset shift to fat loss challenge that we have coming up here soon. Again, if you signed up for VIP, you already get you get a ticket to join us in that one. It starts not next week, the week after. We'll send you over the details. If you're already working with us, obviously as a client, you get all that stuff for free. But yeah, Magdalena, ask for help, girl. Like I know it's not easy. It's not easy at first, but again, it's courage to ask for help, but also planning yourself. Ladies, we are really typically good, maybe not all of us. I'm really good at planning stuff for business, planning stuff for work, being strategic on all the things we do as coaches. I'm really good at a lot of different things like that. And I'm good at actually planning a lot of my things now, except for in the middle of the day. You've got to learn to plan yourself. We plan our kids' appointments, we plan this and that and the other. Learning to start planning yourself, planning your food, planning your meals, right? Be the best planner that you have will honestly take so much stress off your life, take so much stress off your plate. And then the last one here is just set boundaries and priorities and then share them, ladies. Like we have a hard time also just setting boundaries. A boundary they all go together, you guys. When you set a boundary, it means, cutting yourself off from social media at a certain time, or not allowing yourself to take on too much stuff, right? Like there's so many, like we could do a training on boundaries, but I'm not going to go in any further in that because I think we can keep it short and sweet and basic. Unless you, Anita or Lori, either one of y'all have to say anything to say on this one, and then I'll wrap it up on the next slide. Y'all good?
Yeah.
Okay. So again, if you struggle with any of these, I would highly recommend you looking into our 5-day mindset shift to fat loss challenge, because we go into a lot more detail on a lot of this. So that is the last thing you guys were here to say. I know some of them had to pop off, so didn't get to watch the whole thing, but what's next? Again, I said this at the very beginning, is I did a video this morning, and not everybody, some people were asking me, VIP, what is that? What is that? What is that? You can still upgrade to the VIP, you guys, if you want to. If you're a client of ours, you get that automatically. So don't worry, you don't have to do anything. You're good. You're set. Just look out for the emails. But again, I just wanted to recap it real quick, and then we'll finish here, ladies. But VIP is this. This is going to mean you get to hop on Zoom with us tomorrow. I just dropped the link again in the chat if any of you guys were still looking or missing it. But you get a ticket to our upcoming 5-day to a fat loss mindset challenge. I cannot express enough. Some of you guys were in that challenge in the past. Talk about mindset changes. A lot of these shifts we're talking about, we go into way much more detail, plus give you an action plan, an action step on how to incorporate all these things. But also if you go VIP, you get access to our flat tummy 5-step blueprint. We're going to walk you through, and you get the Zoom tomorrow at this same exact time, goes over the flat tummy 5-step blueprint. So again, if you're coaching with us or you're VIP or you want to sign up for VIP, the link's in the chat, or shoot me a message. We can get you in it, because you're going to get all of these things. It's only $47 to go VIP. If you do the challenge by itself, it's 37. Yes, I have to work tomorrow, so I couldn't do the Zoom. If I get the VIP, is it available here? Yes, Becca, absolutely. If you want to upgrade to VIP, you get the replays. So if you can't come live, not a big deal, because I will be sending out the replays to you via email as soon as like today's training is going to go out in an email to those that also signed up for VIP. So yeah, if you can't come tomorrow, you're going to get all of these things, plus our Jumpstart Detox Meal Plan, which is an 11-day meal plan that we have women lose an average of 6 pounds in 11 days, as well as 2 inches in their stomach from just food by itself. So, perfect. Yeah. So grab that link, save it. We'll share an exclusive offer tomorrow on the Zoom as well too. But the biggest thing is, ladies, don't try to do everything that we told you today at once. Don't try to do it all at once. Start with baby steps. Or if you're in a place you're like, master classes are great, Angela, but I really just know that I need help. Well, that's the other step. You can literally just get on a call. You can get on a call with us. Let me drop this link real quick. Whoops. Let me stop sharing. Hold on. I'm not the most technical savvy, you guys, so be patient with me. I don't know how my videos got down here. Okay. So again, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat really quick. Like I said, the last piece of this, if you know you're in a place you're like, man, I just need help. You know, the master classes are great. You get to be a part of all the master classes with us whenever you're free, and the challenges and every little bitty thing extra that we do. So there's another link that is all about just booking a call. If you're in a place you need it, by far, just get on a call with us. We can chat about all the things, all the options, and know this, and I'm going to leave here. You are worth it. You're worth the time. You're worth the investment. You are worth it. And all the investments you put in yourself, whether it's time, money, or all the above, is an investment in your family and the people that you love. And it's an investment in your business. Some of you guys run businesses and have a really hard time focusing. My business plummeted, fell flat on its face because I kept ignoring myself. And as soon as my health was in alignment with my business, everything else has been able to have abundance. So take care of you. Do either one of y'all have a closing, anything y'all want to say, Coach Lori or Coach Anita?
I don't really know.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, thank y'all so much. I know we went over what I originally had planned for today, but it was all worth it. And I'm so grateful that you guys were here with us today. If y'all need any help, our inboxes are always open. Thank you, Becca. I think looking forward to having you now in the VIP for tomorrow. Look out for the replays. Y'all have amazing rest of your day. Go take care of you, put you first. You'll be the best thing in the world that you ever do for you. Bye, you guys.
Bye, ladies.